The ShotScope G5 is a brand new GPS golf watch from ShotScope, and it is incredibly affordable at only £150. Now, I've put a link to it in the description below. I've also included my discount code, which depending on when you watch this video, may or may not get you 15% off. But in this particular video, we're going to be looking at how to set the G5 up and how to use it out on the golf course. If you're looking to find out more about the G5 or view an unboxing video, I have a couple of separate videos which I'll link to in the description. Now, in this particular tutorial, we'll start off by looking at how to connect the strap to the watch's casing, and then what we'll do is take a look at setting up the G5 using the ShotScope mobile app. From there, I'll then show you all of the options and settings that you'll need to know about when you're using the watch in general watch mode, and then we'll finish up by looking at how to access the golf mode on the watch and all of the settings and features and functionality that you'll need to know how to use out on the golf course. So let's get started with taking a look at how to set up your ShotScope G5. Now, before we can get out and use the G5 on the golf course, there are a couple of little things we need to do in terms of setup, which I'm going to take you through just now. The first one is you'll see that you have your watch casing here and the straps are not connected. So I've got the black strap here. You get a couple of different straps with the device when you buy it. But what we need to do is we need to fix a strap onto the device. So you'll see if I turn it over, there are basically a couple of little holes here, and we need to take the pin that runs through the strap and connect it to the watch. So what you do is you slide this little pin across, hopefully you can see it on the camera, slide that to the left hand side into this space here, and then it should make it easy to connect this into the watch. So we'll look for the pinholes, keep that little marker pin across on the left hand side, and then you'll hear a click, and then all you need to do is take that pin and just push it down so it sits in that little gap there. Then do the exact same with the other strap. Listen out for the click and then push it down. So there we have the strap connected to the device. Now, once you've connected the strap to your ShotScope G5, you're ready to take it out and play golf. You can go straight away to the course. You can basically press the top left button to skip this screen that you see here. The watch is preloaded with golf courses, so you can go out and play. It should find your course no problem. But the benefit of connecting it to the ShotScope app, which can be downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, is that you can check for firmware updates or updates to course maps. So I always prefer to do this stage the first time I use the watch before going out to the golf course, but it's up to you. Now, I've downloaded the ShotScope mobile app and already logged into my account. If you don't have an account, you'll just need to register. And what we're going to do is we're going to tap on Connect Device just at the top here. And what it will do is, providing I have Bluetooth switched on my phone and the device nearby, it will try to pair them together. So you'll see it's just connecting just now, and it should be able to locate the device. You'll see it comes up, and then you basically are asked to pair them. So you'll need to do this just the first time, and if you forget any connections on the device, you'll need to do it again. But generally speaking, as long as it remains as a Bluetooth connection after you do it the first time, you should be fine. So we're going to type in that code here, so 243008, and then I'll tap on the pair button. And then what it will do is it will take me into this menu here where we can select our device. So we're the ShotScope G5, then we'll tap on continue. And then it checks for firmware updates. You'll see in this case the updated firmware on the device is the latest, so we're all good. If there was a firmware update, it would ask you to do it just now. We'll then tap on continue, and we're just going to go through some settings for our particular device. So I'm happy with 24-hour time settings, but you can change to 12 hours if you want. Then you can choose between yards and meters, so I'm going to go for yards. And there is a little tutorial you can go through here which explains how course maps work. I'm just going to skip that one. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to check if I have any updates for my golf course. So I have some courses already subscribed, as you can see here. Some are subscribed and some are not. So if it says unsubscribe, I have obviously subscribed. And if I go to ready to sync, this is where you can see all of those courses which I've subscribed to. And if it has a red exclamation mark, it means that an update is pending and needs to be pushed to the device. So I'm going to look for my Dunfermline golf course here. So it's at the bottom. You'll notice we have an update available. I'm going to tap on tap to sync. And then what will happen is it will just synchronize this with my watch. So I'm getting the most up-to-date course map on the device. So if you are desperate to go out and play, by all means on you go. But if you want to make sure you have the most up-to-date and accurate map, then it's a good idea to go through that setup process. But now that we've done that, all we need to do is tap Finish Setup, tap OK, and you'll see the watch will do a quick little reset, and then we have the current time and date displayed on the watch. Now it's time to take a look at how to set up and use the watch in general watch mode, and then we'll take a closer look at how to use it when it's in golf mode. Let's start off with looking at how to navigate the ShotScope G5. So you'll see there are 4 buttons on the outside. So we've got one for up, down on the left hand side, then we have select or the menu button and the back button on the right hand side. On the bottom left hand corner you'll see that we have a little lock symbol. Basically the watch has 2 locks. You can lock it if you're using it in general watch mode, or you can lock it if you are using it in golf mode. Personally, I don't find that I accidentally press these buttons anyway. So you'll see if I try and press any of these buttons, the watch remains locked. If we press the bottom left button, it unlocks and we can make use of these buttons. But because I never seem to accidentally access the watch's menu, even when I don't have the lock active, I prefer just to disable this. So to disable the lock, what you want to do is make sure you've unlocked the watch and then press the top right button. And then what you're going to do is use the bottom left button to go down to settings, then the top right button to select settings, and we're going to use the top left button to go up to button lock. Again, we'll use select at the top right, and you'll see you can set up the button lock for clock face or for golf mode. So I like to disable it for both of these, so I'll use the select button to go into clock face, then we'll go down to disable, and then we'll use back, and we'll do exactly the same for golf mode, down to disable and select, and then we'll go back. And this means that the watch is now not going to automatically lock, so it doesn't really do anything in terms of saving battery. To be honest, in my opinion, it's just a bit of an inconvenience because you have to unlock it before you can access any of the menus. So now that we've disabled that, all of the buttons will work when we press on them. The next thing we can do with the ShotScope G5 when in golf mode is we can change this display we see here. So we've got the time and we've got the date displayed below that. If we press select and then go down to settings, then select again, this time we can go into clock face using select, and you'll see you can use the up and down options to navigate through the 3 different clock faces. So you can have the digital timer on the left and the date on the right, or you can have more of this kind of analog look with the time displayed up above. I'm going to go for that one, so all we do is press select, and then here you'll just need to press back a few times, and you'll see the clock face has now updated. A couple of other things you can do with the G5 that you can't do on the other ShotScope devices is you can actually update the time using the device rather than having to connect to the app. So to do so, you'll see here we're in 24-hour format. If I press select and then go down to settings, back into select, we're going to go down and we're going to look for the time menu. Here it is here. Let's go into that one. And you'll see here you can set the time. So if we use select, we can change the hours and minutes. You basically just use the select to move across and then up and down to adjust the hours or minutes, just like that. And then when you're done, all you do is press select again and select again to confirm. And then you can go down to set date, and you can do the same thing with the date, or you can use the back button to go back. And then if I go to format, this is where you can change it between 24 hours or 12 hours. So let's change that. Press select, we'll go back, and you'll see that little time at the top has now changed to the 12-hour time. Again, if we want to go back into 24-hour, we can just do so from this menu. Another few options that are worth knowing about, if I go to select, back into the menu, so let's go down to settings. One of the ones that's quite important is you'll see here, if we go down, we have confirm score. So the G5 when used in golf mode allows you to track your score. But if you go into this menu and you select and down to disable, then the watch will not allow you to track your scoring. So if you've disabled this, when you go to start your round, you won't get the option to enable scoring. It just won't be active. So what I would do is make sure that you have this enabled, because you can actually choose when you start your round if you want to have scoring active or deactivate it in that menu, but you can't enable it if you have disabled it from in here. So that's a quick run through of how to use the ShotScope G5 in general watch mode, and a couple of the settings that I think are important to know about. Okay, so now that we've covered how to use the watch in general watch mode, let's talk about how to use it in golf mode. I'm located just about a few hundred meters across from our local golf course, so I can actually use the device to pick up the GPS information from my garden, even though the golf course is across the road. The G5 is designed to have all of the golf courses, or 36,000 golf courses worldwide, preloaded on the device, so you shouldn't actually need to do anything when you arrive at your golf course, although you can use the app to update the courses to make sure you've got the latest maps. But in this case, if you want to start your round with the device, all you need to do is press the select button at the top right, and then simply go into play golf. The watch will now try to locate any nearby golf courses. This should take around about 30 seconds at the most. And you'll see here I have two options. I've got Dunfermline Golf Club, and if I go down using the down button, we also have Dunfermline Golf Club Small Course. So I'm going to go back up because I want to use the main golf course, and then we press the top right button to select. Now here it asks me which tees am I going to use. So I've got a mixture of gold, yellow, purple. We can go down, we've got white. The purple tee set is actually one that I've defined for the course, which has a slightly adjusted par, and I did that using my app, and I have already connected this device to the app, so that's why you can see that there. But let's go for purple set. We'll press select, and then you'll see I've got the scoring option. So as I mentioned earlier, if you disable scoring, then you won't get this option at all. If you leave it enabled, then you have the choice to disable scoring or to have it switched on for your round. I'm going to leave it on and then press select. And then you'll see here we get the GPS information to the hole, which is the first hole on the golf course. Now, given the location of our house, we're actually behind the first green here, but I will explain how the GPS works and is displayed on the watch anyway. So at the very top underneath G5, you'll see the current time and your battery. You can actually view a percentage of the battery remaining in the settings menu. I'll show you that shortly. In large blue writing, you have the distance to the middle of the green on the hole you are currently playing. In this case, this is in yards. Then below that on the left hand side, just here, you have the distance to the front of the green, and then this is the distance to the back of the green. Below that, the H1 stands for hole 1, P4 stands for par 4, and the E is your cumulative score so far to par. Now, if we want to go into the main menu for the watch, all we do is press the top right button, and if we want to go back, we can go back. A couple of things that you might want to do when you're actually out on the golf course. You may want to have a look at hazards on the hole you're playing, or various layup points, and you can get to this by pressing the bottom left button when you're in this view here. So we'll press the bottom left button, and then you'll see here we can see the hazard information. So what you're seeing on screen here is the bottom number is the distance to the hazard, and the top number is the distance to clear the hazard. Now, the location of the hazard will be dictated by the side of the screen the hazard is on. So this one is on the right hand side, and if you want to see if there are any other hazards, you can press the up button and you'll see it displays more bunkers. So for this particular hole, all of the hazards are actually on the right hand side. Interestingly, there is a slight difference between these two bunkers. So one has a hashed line through it and one doesn't. That means that the bunker to the side of the green has a hash line. So greenside bunkers will have a hashed line in them and normal bunkers won't. Now, if you want to see layup information for the hole you are playing, all you do is press the top right button and you'll see the little white circle moves to the next one along, and this now shows you layup information. So here you can see the yardage you'll have to hit to leave yourself 100 yards in, and the distance you'll have to hit to leave 150 yards in. Now, if you want to go back, all we do is press the back button and back again, and it takes us back to this main display here. Now, you can actually change the way that the numbers are displayed. So if you want to have just the center yardage displayed, you can press the select button at the top right, and then you can go down and keep going down using the left bottom button to the front, middle and back layout. You can then press select, and then you can choose to have it displayed as it is. You can have it displaying just the center distance, or you can have it displayed in this way. So if we go for just the center distance, press select, you'll see it displays it just like that. So we can't see the yardage to the front or to the back of the green. To change that back, we just simply go select, Then we go back down to front middle back layout, and then I'll just choose another one, select, back, and then you'll see it has updated the display here. Just for the sake of this demo, let's put it back to how it was originally, just like that. Hopefully you are enjoying this video so far. If you are, make sure you hit that like button, and if there are any questions that you have that I've not actually answered in this video, be sure to pop them in the comments area below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Anyway, let's get back on with this tutorial. Now, when you reach the green, the watch's display will automatically change to ask you to enter how many shots you have taken. You'll use the left-hand buttons to go up or down to increase or decrease the amount of strokes, and you'll use the top right button to confirm the number of strokes. Once you confirm the number, the watch will automatically move on to the next hole. Now, if for any reason the watch doesn't automatically move on, or if you want to jump between holes, then what you can do is press the top right button. You can then go into the change hole menu by pressing select again. From here, you can use the up and down buttons to move to a different hole. Let's say, for example, hole number 7, and then press select. From here, what you can do is you can go back into the hazard menu, and you'll see I now have 3 circles at the top. So if I press select another couple of times, I then can see the dogleg information for the hole I am playing. So if the hole you're playing has a dogleg, then it will be displayed within the hazard menu in the 3rd circle along. So just to reiterate, you use the select button twice or 3 times to move between hazards, layup, and doglegs. Let's just press back here. Another thing you might want to do is you might want to check your score or make changes to your score. So let's say, for example, we've got to the 7th hole and we are level par, but actually I didn't enter a score on the 6th hole, or I entered an incorrect score. Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to press the top right button to select, to go into the menu, and then I'm going to go down and we're going to go to scorecard, which is just located here. We'll then press select, and then from here we can work through our holes. So let's say, for example, I've actually been forgetting to enter my score. We'll go back to the 2nd hole, we'll press the select button at the top right, and then we'll use the up and down buttons to enter our score. So let's say I was a 5 on the 2nd, press select, go down, hole number 3, select, let's say I was a 7 here, select, then we'll go down to hole number 4, and let's put that in as a 3, and then just to kind of try and balance the books, let's go down to hole 5, par 3, will give me a 2 for that one, and then I'll go back and you'll see our score has updated in the bottom right corner, so we're now +3. If we go up to select, then we can actually just go up to scorecard and select. You'll see as we work through these holes, it actually displays your score to par for the hole on the left hand side there, and it displays your entire score at the top. So let's go back here and back to this screen here. A couple of other things you might want to know about when you're using the watch on the golf course. The first one, if we go to select, we can go down to our battery. So if you'd rather see an actual percentage of your battery level remaining, go into the battery level and press select, and then you can see in this case we have 91%, whereas on the general watch display it doesn't actually tell you the percentage, it just shows you an illustration of the amount of battery remaining. One final thing you may want to do when you're on the golf course is you may want to see how far you have hit your last shot. To do this, what you do is you press the select button at the top right, then you go down to last shot. Press select again, and then when you have hit your shot, before moving away, simply press the select button, and you'll notice a yardage will appear. You can then walk to your ball, and by the time you arrive at the location of where your ball is sitting, it will tell you how many yards you have walked to get to that ball, and therefore how far you've hit your shot. At any point you can actually reset this by simply pressing the select button here, and that will reset it back to 0. If we want to go back to the main screen, we just press that back button and we're back here just now. Now, as you're playing your round, you may be interested to know how long you have been playing for. You can press the select button, go into the menu, and then you can go down into round time, press select, and you can see your total round time and you can see your total score displayed just down there. Once you finish your round, or if you want to finish your round early, you can go up to end round, press select, and then you'll see in here you have the option to go down to continue your round. Let's say you're doing it accidentally, or if you actually do want to finish your round, you can use the yes option here. So we simply press select, go into yes, and it will tell us our total round time and our total score, And then all we do from here is press back to get back to the main menu, and then back again to go back to the main watch display. Now, if you don't want to end your round prematurely, basically just continue playing until you get to the 18th hole. Once you enter your strokes for the 18th, if you have scoring active, it will then basically ask you at that point if you want to end your round. Of course, you can choose to end it there, or you can continue playing. But if you do end your round, it's the same screen as I've just shown you there. You'll basically be asked to confirm, and then you'll see your total score and how long your round took. So there you have it. That's how to set up and properly use your ShotScope G5 golf watch. Hopefully you found that video to be useful. If you did, make sure you hit that like button below. If you're not already subscribed, you're welcome to do so. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comments area below, and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as I can. If you did enjoy this video and you're a fan of the ShotScope products, then check out these other ShotScope related videos here.